out basically jogging around the bases at 103 years old, Jerry, I wasn't tired anymore.
She made you look, I don't know how slow it was.
She really did.
She accelerated there from third to the plate. And so it's a great way to start today. And as the Blue Jays take the field, this first inning brought to you by Ford Employee Pricing. Drive to win. And then get $2,110 in total price adjustments on the 2016 Focus Titanium. When you pay what Ford employees pay, it's easy to get into a Ford. Today is a sold-out game. The Blue Jays lead the American League in total attendance, drawing over 1.7 million. They lead in overall average, averaging 38.5, and it's been remarkable to see these fans once again rejoice in this team that now is 50-39.
It is. Well, every day they're coming out, they're seeing what? Great starting pitching, always great defense, and now all of a sudden they're one of the best back to being hitting the ball all over the ballpark, scoring a lot of runs. A lot of fun to watch.
Kevin, what have you really liked here the last couple of days? Anything stand out to you when you see the games that you've covered?
100%. Well, the in-game adjustments was amazing. You saw J-Happ yesterday, the breaking ball. He didn't have a lot of feel for it. He basically went the last 2 1/3 innings that he was pitching. Fastball changeup. That's called making an adjustment. The Detroit Tigers, all right-handed hitters, were starting to hit the breaking ball hard. What's he do? He's starting them off with changeups, putting them away with fastballs. It's called adjustments. The Blue Jays are doing it like nobody's business.
Well, Aarón Sánchez last warm-up pitch thrown down to second by Russ Martin. The Blue Jays bedecked the field down below with their bright blue shirts, caps, and white numbers. The Tigers in the road grays. And Ian Kinsler will start it off here, the fine second baseman with the Tigers. Right-handed hitter in this series, 2 for 6. He has yet to score a run. Of course, the Blue Jays shut out Detroit 6-0 yesterday, and that thrilling come from behind 5-4 win on Thursday. The Kinsler steps in, Aarón looks in, and on a just plain beautiful day for a ball game, it's time to play ball. The target by Russ Martin. First pitch, strike one, a pitcher's best friend, and with that we are underway. Darwin Barney anchors third base with Josh Donaldson DHing here today, hitting second. Now Barney backs up even more as we speak. The 0-1 pitch, Kinsler takes outside. Troy Tulowitzki's at short. At second base, Devin Travis, the ex-Tiger, in their system. And then at first base, just checking the sun already with his glove, looking up into that bright blue cloudy sky, Edwin Encarnacion. Sanchez pitch, strike 2 called, outside corner. In the outfield, Ezequiel Carrera starts today in left. In center, the anchor and Superman of this outfield, Kevin Pillar, and in right, Junior Lake. Sanchez to his hitter. He's high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So at 1:09 Eastern Daylight Time, we are underway. 25 delightful Celsius degrees at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Blue Jays lead the season series 3-2. 2-2 pitch, hit down the right side, foul. That'll skip into the crowd on a bounce. And that went right over the head of first base coach Omar Vizquel, who looks into the crowd, a pump fist. He made a lot of friends when he was here, part of his 24-year outstanding career.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, I was about to yell down there, you got to make that play, but you can't make every play, I guess.
Sanchez to Kinsler. Bounces one to the plate. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ian hitting .293, 16 home runs, 200 home runs in his career, and 52 runs batted in. Good man to keep off the base paths. Aaron's full count pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. He did just that.
Well, Aaron's like nobody in this rotation. 3-2 count. A lot of times you're going to get a breaking ball. A guy that has a power sinker like Aarón Sánchez, you can still know it's coming. And when you have 6 or 7 inch movement at 95 miles an hour, that's what it looks like.
Well, batter now, right-hand hitting Cameron Maben. Aaron all of 24, turned 24 here on July 1st, the Canada Day. He takes his pitch for a strike, does Maben, 0-1. People shudder when I say that Aaron was born in 1992.
Me too.
Half swing, Maben goes around. No balls and 2 strikes. Of course, that was a celebratory year here. Blue Jays winning their first ever World Series championship and then repeated in '93. Trying to go back here in '16. Pitch is low. The chalk goes flying, scraped out of the dirt by Russell. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maben hitting .343. He's had a great year. 1-2 pitch to him, bounced to the plate again. So Aarón has bounced 3 already to the plate here of his 11 pitches.
Still trying to get the feel of that breaking ball, but you got to like the fastball. A lot of movement. He's pounding the zone with it. He's getting ahead, and it allows him to try and find the release point of that breaking ball. You don't always have to throw it for a strike when you're throwing your fastball for strikes.
Maben is one of 3 300 hitters in the lineup, and Miguel Cabrera is hitting .297. He's on deck. Fastball, strike 3 called. Rung him up in the zone. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs to begin the game.
First baseman number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
Well, Aaron's got that comeback sinker. He starts it in the left-hander's batter's box, and it basically comes back over center cut right down the middle. That's why you see a lot of takes, and they can't believe looking back at the umpire that it's a strike.
And here's the great Miguel Cabrera. He takes strike 1 called. Among all major leaguers who are active, his batting average tops everyone's, hitting .320 in his career. The strike 1 pitch to him is outside. Sánchez is picking up right where he left off against these Tigers back in Detroit June the 7th, when he ended up striking out 12. He ended up with a no decision. Tigers rallied 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then 1 in the 10th to win it 3-2. 1-1 pitch is outside. Sánchez walked only 1 through 98 pitches over 8+ innings. He went to the 9th inning with a 2-0 lead. Gave up a single and an RBI double, left with a 2-1 lead, but Osuna and Biagini couldn't hold it. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, it sounds like he's figured it out. He's got power. He's stronger with the added weight in the offseason that he gained a little bit. He's stronger. He's throwing strikes early in counts. He's throwing the breaking ball more efficiently. Got it all rolling in the right direction.
The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. He just struck out the side. Did it on 17 pitches. Zip, zip, zip. Bottom of the first we go. Tigers turned away. Blue Jays coming up against the former Blue Jay, lefty Matt Boyd. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet.
Scores, stats, all the numbers for the geekiest of sports geeks. Sportsnet.ca. Toronto Blue Jays baseball continues on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Fans, submit your questions via Twitter using the hashtag HHExperts. Then have them answered later in our game. It's all brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And tomorrow, presented by Rogers, the Blue Jays' 40th season celebration continues. Blue Jays will be looking at some great franchise moments with you. Ceremonies begin at 12:45 tomorrow, so arrive early. Tigers set down 1-2-3. Aarón Sánchez struck out the side. Now here's left-hander Matt Boyd to face the left-handed hitting leadoff man Ezequiel Carrera. Boyd in with strike 1 called. The name might ring a bell. Matt was a Blue Jays 6th-round pick out of Oregon State back in 2013. Made his major league debut last year with the Blue Jays. Ground ball hit to second to his left to glove it. From shallow right field, spinning and throwing Ian Kinsler to get Carrera 1 down.
Designated hitter number 20, Josh Donaldson.
Boyd then was dealt to the Detroit Tigers in the David Price deal and comes in here. Spent most of the time this year in AAA Toledo. He is 0-2 with the Tigers this season. His ERA 6.44. Now he gets DH and right-handed hitting Josh Donaldson. The catcher is Jared Saltalamacchia. Josh, a swing and a miss, strike 1. Nick Castellanos anchors third for Detroit. Andrew Romines at short today. Ian Kinsler, we mentioned, at second. Miguel Cabrera at first. Justin Upton in left. Cameron Maben in center. Stephen Moya in right. Josh takes inside. 1-1 as all of a sudden the clouds have obscured the bright sunshine here, so it figures to be a little peekaboo here the next maybe 20 minutes or so.
Wind blowing out the left.
1-1 pitch, fly ball to left, but it's going to hook foul. And they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sold out crowd, and they're already in the standing room only WestJet flight deck in center field. You see a lot of Blue Jays blue gear. Every seat here at the Rogers Center is a pretty good seat, and Edwin would tell you that yesterday. He hit one into that standing room only crowd yesterday to help win it. 1-2 pitch is low.
Not too many people can hit balls there. We've seen Josh hit one right underneath that WestJet sign. Takes a big man to go out there.
Josh yesterday 1 for 5, but oh, what a one. Hit number 100. 29th Blue Jay in their history to have 100 hits already before the All-Star break. 2-2 pitch. Over but low. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Josh hit the 100 mark with that hit. Edwin hit the 80 mark, leading the major leagues, a runaway leader at this point in runs batted in. Full count pitch is low, ball 4. Donaldson reaches again with a walk.
First baseman number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, what makes these two so special, meaning Josh Donaldson and Edwin Encarnacion, they're not afraid to take their walks, afraid to pass the baton, so to speak. Josh does it better than anybody. He's looking certain zone. He doesn't get it. He takes it. Not afraid to take his walk.
No score, first inning. 1-on-1 out for Edwin. And the lefty's pitch. Line to center field, dropping quickly, dropping. That's a base hit in front of Cameron Maben as kicks off his glove. Rolls behind him. Donaldson picks up on that, heads for third. The throw to second, head first slide. Edwin is in there safely as well.
Well, great heads-up base running. You know, baseball 101 is run with your head up. Josh Donaldson doing that. Sees the ball get away from Maben in center field, takes the extra base. Edwin coming out of the box, running with his head up, sees the same thing, sliding into second base. Not so graceful, but still makes it with 1 out, second and third.
And the Blue Jays now bring up Russ Martin, who's going to hit in the cleanup spot. So a single for Edwin, charge Maben with an error in center field, allowing Donaldson to go second to third and Edwin first to second. Boyd to Martin, breaking ball, drops in there, strike 1 called. The infield is back. Castellanos is near the third base bag. He's in conversation with Donaldson. But here, a ground ball would pretty much allow the Blue Jays to score the game's first run. At least that's what the Tigers are saying. Let's go back. Let's play it back for the out. The 0-1 pitch is low, 1-1. So bottom line, Russ trying to make some contact here to get that runner home from third with less than 2 outs.
Easy approach. Don't try and do too much. Just put the ball in play up the middle. That's a lot of hits with runners in scoring position. Up the middle the other way. Not trying to do too much.
The runners lead. 1-1 pitch. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Martin hitting .227. But he's had a great month and a half. Remember, he was hitting roughly about 160 to start the year, and then got up to hitting 195 over his first 47 games. He's made a quantum leap forward. He has 7 home runs, driven in 36. It's a foul off to the right-hand side. That'll arc back out of play. It's 2-2.
Well, I've had numerous conversations with him about his batting average. He told me, quote, "I really don't care anymore about my batting average. I just want to get the big hit for my team." Well, he's up here in a big spot just to do that same thing.
In the series, 3 for 8. Had a couple of singles yesterday. Glove at the waist. Boyd the leg kick. 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3. And now Matt Boyd, here in this inning, trying to command his pitches. He's thrown 14 of them, but 7 strikes, 7 balls. Castellanos backs up at third. Saltalamacchia, a veteran catcher, trying to help his young pitcher here in a jam, first inning. The 3-2 pitch off speed, and it's ripped foul past the heels of Donaldson, leading off in foul ground at third. It remains 3-2.
Well, that's why it's so hard for a young pitcher, especially left-handed, to come in this park and work around this lineup with Edwin, Josh Donaldson, Russell Martin, Troy Tulowitzki. That's got to be really, really hard.
Again, Matt Boyd set. 3-2 pitch to Martin. Swing and a foul back. Just got a piece of that fastball that was moving up and away. Blue Jays have won 7 straight, and over the 7 wins, they have outscored the opponent 55-18, averaging 8 runs per game. And yesterday, a 6-0 shutout to run it to 7. What have they hit with runners in scoring position to win the last 7? 347.
That's not bad.
That will get you a lot of victories. Boyd set. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Martin fooled. Down he goes. Mark Ripperger up with a fist. Big strikeout for Boyd. 2 down.
Shortstop number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, you see Russell taking that breaking ball. When you don't face a guy a whole lot, you don't really know how that backdoor breaking ball is going to look. Russell Martin just gave up on it. Looked to be a high strike. It's tough to take those pitches with runners in scoring position.
Well, Tulowitzki held that glove right there, as Russ does so well, too, giving umpires a good look at it. Here's Tulowitzki with 2 outs. First inning, no score. Blue Jays and Tigers. He takes another breaking ball, this time strike 1. So Boyd has gone to that well now, not once but twice.
Well, what that does later in games, now that he has to use it this early in the game, now you've seen it. When you get back in this same spot, you'll have a better chance of hitting that breaking ball.
Donaldson at third, Encarnacion at second. Pitch to Tulowitzki inside, almost hit him in the legs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Troy hitting .239, 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. In this series, he has 3 RBIs, going 3 for 8. Back-to-back big hits back on Thursday that come from behind 5-4 win. Next pitch. Fly ball lifted into shallow center field. The second baseman, Egan Kinsler, goes out, but the center fielder in to call him off. Cameron Maben makes the catch. The inning is over. Boyd recovers and leaves runners at second and third. So at the end of 1, settle in. Great to have you with us here this afternoon. URT. No score. Tigers come up in the second. Switch hitter and veteran Victor Martinez, batting left-handed, takes ball 1 from the young right-hander Aarón Sánchez, who struck out the side in the first inning. Nick Castellanos on deck to the right of home plate, and then Justin Upton. Pitch slash foul off to the left it goes. 1 ball and 1 strike. The greatest outdoor show on earth? Well, watch the 104th edition of the Calgary Stampede, July 8th through the 15th. So that's already underway on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. Shift on, 3 infielders to the right at second. Martinez takes inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kevin Barker is with us here this series. Joe is upstairs with Buck on the television side. Kevin, longtime professional, 6-year major leaguer, including a stint here with the Blue Jays. A pitch fouled off to the left. And I mention it because, Kevin, you were a left-handed hitter when you played, and for you started off in the 90s. Were there shifts?
No. It was. I can't imagine trying to go up and hit with this shift. I was more of a up the middle the other way kind of guy, and to have these shifts just makes it that much harder.
And bounces it to the plate, 3-2.
Because it takes you away from your strength. You know, Victor Martinez is one of those guys that likes to drive the ball up the middle, but obviously the book's out that when he hits it on the ground, he pulls it. So what do? You shift everybody to one side. It takes you out of your comfort zone. You do something different, and baseball players don't like that.
Here's the full count pitch. Pull foul right-hand side. Where were you when Milwaukee made you a 3rd-round pick out of Virginia Tech in 1996?
Well, I was at home. I was celebrating. I was having a lot of people over at my house, and it was a special time. It got me started in baseball, and it's basically where I'm at now because of that.
3-2 pitch. Outside. Close pitch. Ball 4. Tigers have their first base runner. 3rd round's pretty nice compliment.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, it was a lot of hard work. It was, I owe a lot of it to my family. My family would take me to a lot of practices, and my dad used to soft toss with me in my basement. We made our basement into basically a batting cage. My mother wasn't a big fan of that, but, I owe everything to my family, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, but everything was worth it.
Broke in with the Brewers 3 years later in 99, to the Padres in 02, and the Blue Jays in 2006. Well, here's Nick Castellanos, right-handed hitter and a good one, sitting on 17 home runs, 51 RBIs. He takes strike 1 here in this Tigers' second inning. No score, but Martinez draws the leadoff walk. So the infield now braced for the double play possibility. Barney at third, Tulowitzki at short with Travis at second. Edwin holds on the runner at first. The pitch half swing. Around goes Castellanos. No balls and 2 strikes. Aarón takes that sigh on the mound, plants that foot right in front of the rubber, a little bit on the first base side. And now the brilliant sunshine again here as the clouds have parted. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground wide of third. That's through between third and short. A base hit. Rolls out into left field. Scooped up by Carrera. He flips it back to the infield, and up to second goes Martinez.
Left fielder number 8, Justin Upton.
Yeah, that's one of those curveballs that Aarón, I think, would like to have back. He sort of aimed it. Looked like he slowed down his windup a little. You got to throw it. If you're going to throw it, bounce it. You're ahead in the count 0-2. Live to fight another day kind of thing. You bounce it trying to get the hitter to expand his zone. So maybe you can elevate with your fastball. One of those you may want to have back.
And truly, as they say in baseball, a game of inches. Aarón got his ground ball, but it was perfectly placed between Barney and Tulowitzki. Here's the right-handed hitting veteran, Justin Upton. He shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes outside and low, ball one. Upton's 2-for-7 in the series, a home run and a double. Both came in back-to-back at-bats back on Thursday, helping the Tigers take the lead, but they would lose at 5-4. Stretch. And the 1-0 delivery, foul back over the screen, right side. It's a ball and a strike. Today is game one of a doubleheader here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, our flagship station. Join Ben Wagner, does such a great job year in and year out as the voice of the Buffalo Bisons, the Blue Jays AAA club. Tonight at 7 o'clock, he's on the air from nearby Coca-Cola Field in Buffalo as the Bisons entertain the Phillies' top farm club from Lehigh Valley. The 1-1 pitch hit the right field down the line. Tough play. Circling in, Junior Lake got a late break on. Coming in, it falls in front of him. Base hit. The runners go up a base. The throw into the infield. The bases are loaded on a ball blooped to right field where Junior Lake just misread it. And the Tigers now have 3 on with nobody out.
Well, we saw Edwin Encarnacion earlier in the game holding his glove up, trying to fight the sun to see which way the ball was going to move and where he had to place his glove. There, Junior Lake just didn't do that. He lost it in the sun. The ball had a little tail to it. Looked like he thought if the ball was hit a little bit harder than it was. It falls in. Now, bases loaded, nobody out.
All of a sudden, Stephen Moya comes up here. Moya, left-handed hitter, 24 games, hitting .277. No score, but Detroit, bases loaded. So Sanchez has his work cut out for him. Moya swings and he misses, strike one. So that's tonight again, the Buffalo Bisons, part of our doubleheader for you here today and tonight. We were visiting with Ben before the game. The Bisons are 49-40. They have not made the postseason since 2005, and this year you like their chances. The 0-1 pitch, slice to left field, coming on Carrera, makes the catch, tagging the runner at third, heading home Martinez, the throw on the fly, the slide, the tag, he is out! Call it 2, what a double play!
Well, Ezekiel Carrera with an unbelievable play. You always say you want to pick up your teammate. The misplay in right field, Ezekiel Carrera gets that line drive, throws a perfect strike to home plate. We talk about role players, guys picking up the superstars. Ezekiel Carrera leading that pack.
A play for the season, and Russ Martin caught it with his foot right there in front of the plate to get the sliding. Victor Martinez 2 down. Tigers still at first and second, and the batter Jared Saltalamacchia. What a play in front of a sold-out crowd here at the Rogers Center. Second inning, and already the fans on their feet. Saltalamacchia, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Pitch on the way to him. It gets off the glove of Martin, ricochets off his thumb of the glove, and the runners move up on what more than likely is a pass ball. And that's what it is. And we saw Russ get crossed up in the series yesterday in the second inning, and now this is 2 games in a row where he's just unable to catch that pitch.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to catch it a little bit off his thumb. He's looking at his glove there, but with a pitcher that throws that hard with that much movement, it's really hard all the time to catch it in the webbing. And Sometimes you just don't, and it gets away like that.
Still a buzz here through the Rogers Center after that last double play. But now Aaron still has a lot of work left here to keep this game scoreless. Second inning. Tigers at second and third now. The 1-0 pitch. Strike one called inside corner. Moving off the plate with Saltalamacchia. Up with the fist, young Mark Ripperger. Mark is just in his third full year as a Major League umpire. He's only 35. Gets behind the veteran catcher Russ Martin. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Fastball up in the zone. Castellanos at third, Upton at second. And the crowd starting to swell with their enthusiasm here to help Sanchez come out of this inning after Ezequiel Carrera really helped him. Aaron set on the mound. Kicks. The 1-2 pitch. Just inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saltalamacchia hitting just 200, but ever dangerous. A veteran who's been around a number of years. He has 27 hits, but the RBIs will tell you how dangerous he is. 24 RBIs with those 27 hits. Sanchez, glove at the waist. The 2-2 pitch, fouled off to the left-hand side. Good cut there on that 96-mile-an-hour pitch.
I'll tell you this, Jerry, whenever I struggled as a player, it was because I wasn't hitting the fastball, not because I wasn't hitting a breaking ball. If you're Aaron here and you're going to get beat with your best pitch, which is that moving fastball.
A walk, 2 singles, low to the bases. Then the double play line drive to left where Carrera threw out. Martinez at the plate. The pass ball. And now 2-2 the count on Saltalamacchia. Aaron ready. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball just low and inside. Ball 3. Russ Martin's body language thought that was the third strike. It was not there to be, and it's full 3-2. So Martin will just look down the first base line, and that's a catcher talking through his mask to the plate umpire without trying to show him up. So we go again here. Aaron looks in. Stretch. 39th pitch of the game inbound. The pitch is low, ball 4. Saltalamacchia draws a walk for the 9th hitter, Andrew Romine, the shortstop. Romine is a switch hitter, so he comes up here batting left-handed. Blue Jays nothing, Tigers nothing. Tense moment in the game here, and it's not often that Aaron Sanchez will throw a 40th pitch in an inning and 2/3, but that's where he sits right now. Castellanos at third, Upton at second, Saltalamacchia at first. Romine in his first start of the series. Game 3 of 4. The pitch to him. And he takes strike one called.
Well, we heard Jay Happ in the pregame show talk about how hard it is to pitch through this lineup with Detroit because they have so many veteran hitters in it, know how to work counts. They don't go outside the strike zone a lot. We're seeing Aaron here having the same trouble doing this.
The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball inside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Aaron shows us that white 41 on his blue shirt as he walks up the hill. Now turns to look in at his catcher, Russ Martin. Pat Henkin wore that number here proudly and toward a Cy Young Award as well. The 1-1 pitch, hit down the left field side foul. That'll bloop into the crowd, probably about 2 rows back. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Blue Jays and Tigers, a great rivalry, and cut short when the Tigers move from the East to the Central Division. But when they show up and the Blue Jays go to Comerica Park, we usually end up with pretty close to full houses. Aaron peering in. Romine ready. Aaron set. And the 1-2 pitch. And did it hit him? It did. It hit him, and the Tigers go out in front 1-0, and the pitch deflected off Romine and hit catcher Russ Martin, too. So not a good situation there, both on the scoreboard and with the veteran catchers. Here comes pitching coach Pete Walker to the mound here to talk to Sanchez.
Yeah, Russell looks like he's having a real tough time picking up Aaron Sanchez's fastball there. Ball ricochets off the batter and hits Russell. Looks like right on his hand. Yeah, on his wrist of his glove hand. That's got to hurt with that much movement. But Aaron's just trying to overthrow that fastball here with the bases loaded. That's why you see Pete Walker coming out here having the conversation. Get back in your lane. Get back to what you do well. Just nice and easy rhythm. Get back to your lane, throwing strikes with the fastball.
So Aaron has had a tough time with the 8th and 9th hitters here. The walk to Saltalamacchia. Now the 9th hitter hit by a pitch. So a painful run batted in for Romine. 1-0 Tigers. Still bases loaded here in the second inning with 2 outs. And now Ian Kinsler to the plate. He struck out back in the first one. Sanchez struck out the side on 17 pitches. Aaron, an inning later, steps off the rubber, trying to again gather himself. It's been a tough inning for him. This is what managers talk about when they lift pitchers later on, maybe early in games. It's not so much the number of pitches, it's the stress over the pitches thrown. The pitch is outside, ball 1. And this has been a stressful second inning for Sanchez.
It is. Well, it looks to me like he just can't find the feel of the power sinker. He's trying to overthrow it. Obviously, again, it's the lineup he's trying to work through. Power right-handed hitters, you have to locate. When you don't, you go through pains like this.
Upton at third, Saltalamacchia at second, Romine at first. Aaron is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Dave Clark coaching at third for Brad Osmus and his Tigers. We mentioned Omar Vizquel down at first. Kinsler, the 7th man to bat here in this inning. The 2-0 pitch to him. A strike on the outside corner. Fastball at 96, 2-1. Tigers are trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They're in second place like the Blue Jays, but the difference is the Blue Jays are 1 game back. The Tigers 7.5 behind Cleveland. The 2-1 offering. Strike 2 called, outside corner, same place, same result, and it's even now, 2-2. Big pitch right here for Sanchez. Ideally, does not want to go 3-2, where then with 2 outs, the runners would have the advantage of going with the pitch. So a moment of decision here for Aaron. Kicks. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball top to short. Charged by Tulowitzki. He throws it on to first, and now the inning is over. So Aaron holds it to 1 run. He does it on 2 hits. He hits 1. There's a pass ball in there as well, and 3 runners left on. Bottom line, Tigers 1, Blue Jays nothing. Bottom of the joy, a 23-ounce Bud or Bud Light for $5.99. Only at St. Louis Bar and Grill. 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the second inning. Lefty Matt Boyd to Kevin Pillar. Takes outside, ball 1. Kevin will be followed by Junior Lake and then Devin Travis, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in John Gibbons' lineup. Pillar fouls one back to the screen. 1-1. Here's Mike Wilner with that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
And, Jerry, a bunch of games going on in the major leagues, but the next 2 don't get underway for another 25 minutes. The Atlanta Braves are in Chicago to take on the White Sox.
Pillar swings and fouls one off to the right.
White Sox turned their 3rd triple play of the season yesterday. It'll be Julio Teheran against Jose Quintana in that one. St. Louis Cardinals are in Milwaukee as well, also a 2:10 Eastern start.
Boyd to his hitter, 1-2. It slapped to right field. That's a base hit. 1 hop to Stephen Moy, and Kevin starts the second inning with a ringing hit the other way.
The Cardinals will throw Carlos Martinez at the Brewers and Chase Anderson. A bunch of 4 o'clock games, including the Baltimore Orioles home to the Angels. Giovanni Gallardo against Nicholas Tropiano. The Orioles lead the Blue Jays by just 1 game in the AL East. The Red Sox are home to the Tampa Bay Rays. Rick Porcello against Matt Moore. The Red Sox are a game behind the Blue Jays, holding the second wild card. The Jays hold the first. Red Sox got some bad news today. Craig Kimbrell is out for 3 to 6 weeks.
Junior Lake, the batter. The pitch is strike 1.
Their closer has a knee problem. They traded for Brad Ziegler from the Arizona Diamondbacks last night to help out. For all the scores and stats, go to sportsnet.ca.
Thank you, Mike. Junior comes up here in 11 games, hitting .235. Pillar was speed at first. Draws a throw from the left-hander Boyd, but Kevin backs in standing up. Junior looks down at third base coach Luis Revere signs across that blue shirt, finishes with a clap of the hands. Tim Leeper coaching down in first. Pilar last year led the club in thefts with 25, caught only 4 times. Boyd to his hitter. Lake takes it outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in this bottom of the second inning, the Tigers just scored 1 run with the bases loaded. Aarón Sánchez hit Andrew Romine. There was a spectacular double play turned in by left fielder Ezequiel Carrera with a catch and throw to the plate on the fly. And Aarón was able to hold it to 1 run. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the top of the screen, 1-2. So that defensive play and Sanchez job. Now, Blue Jays are hopeful for some good old some momentum here offensively.
It is. Well, you see what speed does. Kevin Pilar on first base and Matt Boyd paying a lot of attention. This is how the hitter gets better pitches to hit, because the pitcher's paying more attention to speed at first.
Infield geared for the double play possibility on the ground ball. 1-2 pitch to Lake is very high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Boyd, lifetime, has had 19 Major League appearances. His record, 1-8 with an ERA of 7.17. He's given up 22 home runs over those 19 appearances. This is 20th. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, strike 3 called. He gets Junior Lake here, artfully done. And this is all part of the growth and maturing of a young pitcher who was originally drafted by the Blue Jays.
Well, it is. Again, you can tell one of the reasons why is when runners gets on base and he's pitching from the stretch, he looks different. His windup's not as good. He's not as fluid. He's not throwing as many strikes. The breaking ball, though, has been a weapon for him here early. Blue Jays need to make that adjustment.
Devin Travis up here, right-handed hitter. 1 on, 1 out. Devin takes a fastball away, ball 1. Boyd looking in at his catcher, but Saltalamacchia in that squat position behind the plate, looking to his right over his shoulder into the Tigers' first base dugout for his instructions. And there they are, throw over to first base, and that came from the dugout.
It did, but again, if you want to put runners in motion here with the way Devin Travis can shoot that hole between first and second right now, would be the perfect time.
Devin hitting .262. He's been just the spark the Blue Jays needed here. The 1-0 pitch to him is outside. The Blue Jays went 14-6 in the absence of Troy Tulowitzki, and Devin Travis a big part of that with Ryan Goins, Darwin Barney. And the Blue Jays are now 12-8 without Jose Bautista. And we just saw the presence of Ezequiel Carrera, a huge part of that, not only leading off but playing both right and today left field. Devin takes it low, and Boyd falls behind here. 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, they always say you need extra starting pitchers. Well, to me, to win and go deep as you want to, you need a good bench. And right now the Blue Jays have that.
Pilar off first. 3-0 pitch to Devin. Strike 1 called. And it's 3-1. Matt will not overpower you, and that's why the numbers are so high. He has to have good finesse and command of his pitches. So Pilar again bounces off first base. Does not go. 3-1 pitch. Hit the right field foul down the line. That's going to work its way back into the crowd. And a lot of blue here today. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, if you're Kevin here and the Blue Jays, you'd think you have to be going here. Trying to stay out of that double play I just mentioned. Devin Travis is really good at shooting that hole. All of a sudden, you'd have first and third, 1 out. Probably runner in motion here.
Yesterday, we saw the shortstop break to the bag, and Darwin Barney, a perfectly placed ground ball through the left side. The stretch. Pilar does not go. 3-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. The second baseman, Ian Kinsler, drifts toward the line. He's right on the line, makes the catch in fair territory. 2 down.
Third baseman, number 18, Darwin Barney.
Yeah, I guess this is the manager knowing his team a little bit better than I do. That would have been a good time for me to send the runner, but you want to let a guy be able to hit, not worrying about people in motion. There he just missed hitting that double.
Well, the ninth hitter, Darwin Barney, up on a 7-game hitting streak. His average now over 300 at 302. He'll use the whole field. Good line drive hitter. 1-0 Tigers. Second inning, diving back to first on a throw over by Boyd is Pilar. Kevin this year, 7 stolen bases, but he's already been caught as many times as he was all last year, which was just 4 times in 29 tries. He's 7 of 11 here this season. Boyd to his hitter. Breaking ball outside. Ball 1. Boyd, as we said last July 31st, traded to the Tigers in the David Price deal. He's set on the mound. The 1-0 pitch popped up at the mound. Coming in, Kinsler, the second baseman. He's under this one. He has it, and Boyd comes out of it, leaving the leadoff single on. So at the end of 2, Tigers 1, Blue Jays nothing. You're listening to Home Hardware. Blue Jays baseball on the... Cameron Maben, right-handed hitter, takes strike 1 called. Aaron Sánchez struck out the side in the first inning on 17 pitches and then needed 31 pitches to leave the bases loaded, and giving up a run when he hit the ninth hitter, Andrew Romine, with the bases loaded for that 1 run. He's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Aaron has so much natural movement on his baseball that's why he has to be so mechanically sound. Find the same slot all the time so he can consistently throw strikes.
Maben takes a pitch at the knee, strike 2 called, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maben, Cabrera, and Martinez, a tough trio, hitting 2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers lineup. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to the right side. A sliding stop in right field by Devin. Throw it to first. Got him! Pretty play. Devin Travis stealing a base hit off the bat of Cameron Maben.
Baseman number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
Well, I said the difference between the minor leagues and the big leagues, besides breaking balls, is defense. And right now the Blue Jays are playing great defense. Devin Travis taking away that hole between first and second. A nice little slide play, get up and throw a 1-hop to Edwin. Great pick on the other side. Nice play.
Well, tune in after our game for the Acura Play of the Game, brought to you by the 2017 Acura RDX, starting from just $44,375. Visit your GTA Acura dealer for details. That was a great call down there by first base umpire Paul Noward as well. The call will stand. Here's Miguel Cabrera. He struck out. First time up. We're in the 3rd inning. The Tigers a run on 2 hits. Blue Jays no runs, 2 hits. Cabrera takes outside, ball 1. Tomorrow, be sure and arrive early. The pregame ceremonies begin at 12:45. A 40th season look back here in the anniversary year. The pitch is lined on the right side, fouled by about the length of a bat. It'll kick down the line 1-1. Here tomorrow to help celebrate 40 seasons in part, Otto Vela is going back to the days at Exhibition Stadium. Ed Sprague, Kelly Gruber, a couple of great third basemen. John McDonald. What a career he had here as a Blue Jay. The 1-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. George Bell, the MVP in 1987. Devon White, Gold Gloves in 92 and 3. Roberto Alomar in the Hall of Fame, the only number retired in the Blue Jays history, in addition to 42, of course, for Jackie Robinson. Joe Carter and Cito Gaston, they're all here tomorrow, so come on out early. Pre-game festivities, 12:45. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground to third. Nice sweet hop for Barney. Darwin flips it across to first to Edwin. 2 down.
Designated hitter number 41, Victor Martinez.
Jerry, you just mentioned John McDonald. He was the best that I ever played with in the infield at that slide, like we just saw Devin Travis do, pop up, throw a strike from shortstop. He was the best I ever saw at that.
And what a great teammate.
He was. Actually, early on here, I was talking to him in the dugout. He's such a nice person, always asking how you're doing, your family's doing, an unbelievable guy.
Strike 1 to the DH. Switch hitter Victor Martinez, batting left-handed. It's 0-1. Johnny Mack, as he is affectionately known across the country, not just here in Toronto. Shift on, 3 infielders to the right of second. 1-0 Tigers, 3rd inning. The pitch is low and outside. So the count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. War number 6. Now that number worn by Marcus Stroman. The pitch topped on the ground. The first met at the bag nicely by Edwin. Step on the bag, inning over. Bottom of the third we go, 1-0 Tigers. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The good people at Jack Links know a thing or two.
And the left-hander, Matt Boyd, comes in with strike one to left-handed hitting leadoff man Ezekiel Carrera, who grounded out to second first time up. Boyd misses away with a breaking pitch, 1-1. It's a Junior Jays Saturday, and 9-year-old Ryan from nearby Thornhill bringing the hitters up this inning. 1-1 pitch, strike two called. Again, good breaking ball there by Boyd, 1-2.
Yeah, it's the second time through the Blue Jays have seen him. Now they've seen the breaking ball. They know which way it's breaking. Be interesting to see the adjustment.
And the 1-2 pitch way outside. Donaldson to follow. He's DHing today, and then Encarnacion. As the clouds beginning to swoop over the Rogers Center, you can see their shadow moving on the field. The pitch, a swing and a miss on a fastball, so he set him up. Breaking ball, got him with the heat.
Now batting, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
Okay, Kevin, I've heard enough. Thanks for your job today.
See you later, Jared.
Job.
Way to go, Ryan.
Ryan will be filling in for Joe the rest of the way.
Way to show me up, Ryan.
What a thrill for not only Junior Jays to run the bases after the game, but to get to that microphone if you're fortunate enough to do that. Donaldson, with the Tigers up 1-0 in the third, takes ball one. When was the first time, Kevin Barkey, ever went to a big league game?
I went with my father to the Cincinnati Reds when I was, I'm going to say, 8 or 9 years old. It was a great experience. I got to hang out with my dad at a baseball game.
Josh fouls one off to the right, 1-1. And where was that? Was it in Cincinnati?
It was in Cincinnati. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I caught a home run ball in batting practice. One of the coolest things that I've ever done. And, again, every son likes to hang out with their father at a baseball game. I had a great time.
Other Sundays, nothing better. The pitch popped up, infield, foul, playable for the first baseman Cabrera. Sunglasses on, but he needs his right hand now gloved to shield his eyes from the sun to make the catch. 2 down.
Batting, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Way to go, Ryan. That is not an easy last name to pronounce.
It is not. It's very hard. I still can't pronounce it. But, you know, I think here they've seen enough of the breaking ball to maybe change their approach. Move closer to the pitcher, do something different to make that breaking ball break different.
Overhand breaking ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. That slow curve from Matt Boyd. Edwin single to center, first time up. Blue Jays had runners at second and third in the first inning, but couldn't cash in. Pitch rocked the right field. Back for it. Stephen Moya. He's got room. Hustles toward the corner. His sunglasses glistening here at the Rogers Center. He makes the catch. The inning is over. So both pitchers, 1, 2, 3, third innings. We go 10 those. Tigers 1, Blue Jays nothing. Top of the fourth inning. Aarón Sánchez right-handed to the plate against the tall right-handed hitting third baseman and a good one, Nick Castellanos. He singled back in the second inning, and then eventually from third scored the game's only run to this point when with the bases loaded. Sánchez hit the ninth hitter, Andrew Romine. The 1 pitch is outside. Now, Romine wasn't hurt, but it does lead us into our injury report brought to you by Sokolov Personal Injury Lawyers. Don't put it off. Call Sokolov. Visit ruhurt.ca. And let's get back to our conversation today with Ben Wagner, the fine play-by-play announcer with the AAA Buffalo Bisons. 1-1 pitch, line to center field, back to get it. Kevin Pillar turns to meet it, makes the catch at the eyes. A shot turned into an out, 1 down. Ben was talking about young Dalton Pompey, the Canadian from right here nearby Mississauga, who 3 weeks ago made a tremendous diving catch but crashed into the wall and went on the disabled list with a concussion. He's back now. Yesterday was his first game, went 1 for 4 in the leadoff spot, and nice to have Dalton Pompey back in uniform playing now for the Bisons.
It is. You can never have too much speed and talent.
Right-handed hitting, Justin Upton takes outside ball 1. It's just amazing what Kevin Pillar is able to do, and he's been able to avoid injury. But there's so much a part of the game, especially for aggressive outfielders. A foul off to the right, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben went on to talk about the left-handed hitting veteran outfielder Darryl Siciliani since his return to Buffalo, hitting .353. He's hit safely in 11 of 14 games, 4 home runs, 5 doubles, a triple, and he's walked 5 times. Nice chip to have if you need it later. 1-1 pitch, strike 2 called. And a name we haven't talked a lot about, he hasn't been here yet, but he's an all-star in AAA in the International League, the designated hitter Jesus Montero, hitting .369 since June the 21st, and .308 overall with 9 home runs, 50 RBIs. The pitch is up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, availability later on if the Blue Jays need to go to Buffalo.
It is. Well, Siciliani obviously was up a little bit and then got sent down. It's very hard to do, to sort of swallow your pride, go back down and rake like he's doing. You can never, ever have too much hitting in your minor league systems.
2-2 pitch is rolled foul up along third. So bottom line, tonight at 7 p.m., join us right here on our flagship station, Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Ben will have the call over at Coca-Cola Field. The Bisons entertain the Phillies AAA club from Lehigh Valley. And then tomorrow they have a 1 p.m. game. So enjoy both of those, and tonight on the air. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball outside, ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Upton had 23 RBIs in the month of June. That was 5th best in the American League. Full count pitch. Popped up foul, first base side, maybe playable. Sanchez, Martin sprint over. Russ dives headlong, can't make the play. It was about 4 feet beyond his headlong dive, but there again is all-out effort. We talked about Pompey, we talked about Pilar, and a catcher as well named Martin.
Well, it is. Again, it's your veteran leadership, selling out, doing whatever it takes to win games. It starts with your superstars. Your role players see your superstars doing things like that, then they fall in line. They want to do it too.
Now, Troy Tulowitzki from short smartly comes to the mound, because guess who sprinted over as well? Aaron Sanchez. And Troy smart enough to just talk a little bit to give his pitcher a chance to gather himself for this next 3-2 pitch.
Quarterback of the infield. Every team needs a great quarterback. It starts with Troy Tulowitzki.
Kevin Barker here with us this 4-game series. Joe upstairs on the TV side with Buck Martinez. 1 out, nobody on, 4th inning, 1-0 Detroit. 3-2 pitch to Upton. Line to left center field. That's up the gap. That's heading for the wall and hits it on the fly. Picked up by the left fielder Carrera. He throws it back to the infield, and Justin Upton with a 1-out double.
Right fielder number 33, Stephen Moya.
Well, you just mentioned Justin Upton with that hot start in July and June. It's because he's hitting the fastball there. He gets a 3-2 fastball down. Nice and easy swing, eliminating all that movement in the lower half. Just getting the bat head out in front of the plate and letting the pitcher supply the power, almost just missing a home run.
And now the dangerous left-handed hitting. Stephen Moya comes up here. Check swing. He goes around, says the plate umpire, Mark Ripperger. Right now, the play of the game is Moya's at bat. The Tigers had the bases loaded with nobody out in the 2nd inning of a scoreless game, and Moya lined one to left, caught by Carrera, who then threw it on the fly to the plate to double up the sliding Victor Martinez. The pitch is outside, 1-1. Later, Sanchez, after that, walked the 8th hitter and hit the 9th hitter, but Ian Kinsler grounded out to short, leaving 3 men on. But right now, Carrera stands tall, trying to keep this a ball game.
It is. Well, every pitcher's best friend's great defense. Ezekiel Carrera's been doing that all season. A nice role player for the Blue Jays.
Now dark gray clouds overhead, no sunshine. A swing and a foul back by Moya. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of those days where the sun kind of plays peekaboo here, and the crowd enjoying this one. A sold-out crowd here with the game tomorrow, as we mentioned. R.A. Dickey, 6-9, ERA just over 4. Anibal Sanchez gets the call for the Tigers. He's 5-9, ERA 6.5. Get here early. 12:45 pregame festivities. The 40th anniversary celebration continues with a lot of great former players here. 1-2 pitch. Inside. So it's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moya with a very wide open stance, that front right foot on the chalk line in that batter's box up here, batting left-handed. And the 2-2 pitch to him. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 95 miles an hour to get him. 2 down.
Catcher number 39, Jared Saltalamacchia.
Well, I was talking to Wally Joyner, the hitting coach, about Moya, and he says a lot of power if he can just get him to work on his strike zone command, meaning not go outside the zone and try and hit everything, sort of like Kevin Pillar. Kevin Pillar is a great hitter when he zones in his strike zone and gets it. When he gets it, he puts it in play. Moya is something to work on.
2 outs, runner at second, 4th inning. Tigers 1, Blue Jays nothing. Jared Saltalamacchia up here batting left-handed. The big switch hitter takes outside ball 1. Just collected the 100th home run in his career. A grand slam. It was back in April against the Pirates. There's a little floater into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Upton in to score. Picking it up Junior Lake from right field. Saltalamacchia with a 2-out RBI hit, and Detroit goes out in front 2-0.
Well, when Aaron Sanchez gets on the side of that sinker, it's elevated. He can't manipulate it and make it go where he wants. He leaves it up to a veteran hitter you just mentioned, hitting this 100th home run, understands how to put the ball in play with 2 outs and runners in scoring position up the middle. There's a lot of hits. We keep saying it on this show and everybody else's show. There's a lot of hits up the middle the other way.
And so far, the 8th and 9th hitters have been a chronic nuisance for Sanchez. Saltalamacchia walking now an RBI single. Here's Romine. Andrew walked with the bases loaded back in the second for the Tigers' 1-0 lead at that time. He takes ball 1. That's the difference, of course, in many ways between the two leagues. Here, 7, 8, and 9, very difficult as opposed to the National League. There's a foul off to the plate. 1-1. Kevin, you played with the Milwaukee Brewers, and then you played with the San Diego Padres, and then the Blue Jays. Your 1 home run was at Fenway Park. Talk about the difference in the two leagues as you experienced it as a player.
Well, obviously in the National League, I was coming off the bench a whole lot. I didn't do that here a whole lot in the American League, but, you know, a lot more breaking balls than there is in the National League.
Aaron just misses 2-1.
It's still a lot of fun. It's real hard in the National League was for me. It took some learning to understand how to pinch hit. Pinch hitting is very hard because you've been sitting there for a long time. Coming off the bench and facing hard throwers is very, very hard to do.
Aaron's 2-1 pitch fouled off right-hand side, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And over there, if you're the 8th hitter, you're not going to see too much because the pitcher's behind you, not a pretty good hitter.
Yeah, and hard throwers. You got to understand your swing. It took a long time for me to understand my swing, understand how to shorten it up and put the big part of the bat on the baseball. Sounds easy. It's very hard to do.
And the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball line to right field. That's another base hit. Saltalamacchia up to second base. He's on his way to third. Junior Lake can only throw it into second to Travis on a hop. And the Tigers now with 2 straight hits. And there's that 9th hitter going right along with the 8th hitter.
Second baseman number 3, Ian Kinsler.
Well, it is. Aaron Sanchez, I just mentioned, getting on the side of that sinker. And when he tries to throw his breaking ball, he's slowing that mechanics down, leaving that ball up. You leave it up to this lineup, bad things happen there. First and third with 2 outs.
Well, here is Ian Kinsler. There are 5 second basemen in Major League history with 200 or more home runs and 200 or more stolen bases. And the other day, when Ian hit his 200th home run, he already has 205 stolen bases. He joined Joe Morgan, Ryan Sandberg, Roberto Alomar, and Craig Biggio. The pitch to him, hit hard but foul down the right field side, strike 1.
That's not bad company. Power and speed doesn't come around every day.
It took that 200th home run to do that. Joe Morgan, 268 home runs, 689 stolen bases. No wonder he's in the Hall of Fame. Ryan Sandberg stole 344 with 282 home runs. Alomar, 210 home runs, 474 stolen bases. The pitch low, the runner goes to second, head first slide, the tag, and safe at second base. Beating the Travis tag is Romine. Watching from third base is Saltalamacchia. So a good jump there. Romine is in scoring position, and for Andrew, he doesn't run that often, but now he's 5 for 5.
Well, you got to like the way Detroit's sort of taking it to a younger pitcher in Aaron Sanchez, understanding that you have to push the envelope a little bit and try and score runs early in this game. tough spot to do it here at the Rogers Center.
Our Home Run Leaders Update is brought to you by Home Run Sports. Pick up your Rawlings equipment at Home Run Sports, locations in Mississauga, London, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton. Home Run Sports, locally owned with over 25 years of experience. So for info on all of your favorite Rawlings products, slide into Home Run Sports. Runners at second and third. Kinsler at the plate with a 1-1 count. Tigers with a run here in the fourth, leading 2-0. Aaron set. Delivers a foul at home plate, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. This inning started with Nick Castellanos lining one to center field, caught by Pilar, but that was a sign of what was to come. Justin Upton lined one off the left center field wall for a double. Stephen Moya struck out and there were 2 down, but Saltalamacchia lined an RBI single to center. Romine lined a base hit to right, moving Saltalamacchia to third, and now steals second. 1-2 pitch to Kinsler. Ground ball weakly hit to third, taken by Barney. Takes his time, throws to first. The inning is over. Tigers get a run on 3 hits, leave a pair. Bottom of the fourth we go. Detroit 2, Blue Jays nothing. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ever notice that when something is super special?
2-0 Detroit, bottom of the fourth inning. Left-hander Matt Boyd's first pitch swung on and missed by catcher Russ Martin, who took a called third strike with Blue Jays at second and third back in the first inning. When Boyd escaped that jam, he induced Troy Tulowitzki to fly out to center and end the inning. Russ takes it high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt has really settled in. He's retired 6 in a row, 8 of 9 coming into this inning, and he owns a 2-0 lead. Martin, a swing and a miss way out in front of that 79-mile-an-hour pitch. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he's mixing in the changeup here the second time through. That's how it's called pitching. He started flipping the breaking ball, getting ahead with a fastball. Now he's throwing the changeup.
Next pitch, high, 2-2. Matt was born in Bellevue, Washington. That's right outside of Seattle, right where John Olerud was born. Blue Jays, as we said, made him a 6th-round pick 3 years ago out of Oregon State, now a Tiger in the David Price deal. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So it goes to 90 miles an hour and well placed to get Martin 1 down. Matt said when he was here growing up in the Seattle area, his favorite player, and he's going into the Hall of Fame later this month, Ken Griffey Jr. Kevin, you were born in Bristol, Virginia. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Dale Murphy I was a big fan of that. I was a Braves fan, so I watched him a whole lot. He was one of those players that whenever the Braves were on, you stopped what you were doing, he was playing. It was one of those things.
Tulowitzki takes ball 1. Well, that's a pretty good idol to have right
It was, yeah. It was. My dad was a big Braves fan, so I obviously had to be a big Braves fan.
A foul off to the right by Tulowitzki, 1-1. In fact, really with Ted Turner, it was Atlanta that put every game on TV, and so far spread around the country. That was the beginning of televised baseball.
That's right. Well, obviously I grew up in the South, and in the South, the Braves were the thing. Everybody wanted to watch the Braves. Whatever the Braves were doing, that's what everybody was watching, and I was no different.
And the 1-1 pitch from Boyd is inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, Dale Murphy, a right-handed hitter and 2-time MVP. Did you have a left-handed hitter since you were a left-handed hitter that you liked?
Well, you just mentioned Ken Griffey Jr. That's one of the guys everybody wanted to be like when you were a kid. You tried to stand up tall and see how far you could hit it like Ken Griffey Jr. It was a lot of fun to watch Ken Griffey Jr. also.
Tulo takes outside, so it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Boyd has allowed just 2 base hits. Singles in the first and second innings. 3-1 pitch. Hit the right field. Hit it off the end of the bat, so a little pop-up coming on the right fielder, Stephen Moyle. He makes the catch. 2 down.
Center fielder number 11, Kevin Pilar.
The Tigers were shut out 6-0 yesterday, and they're trying to turn things around on the Blue Jays here. The 4-game series right now sees the Blue Jays having won the first 2 games. Blue Jays come in here. They've won 7 straight. They're 50-39. Kevin up here. Pilar single to right first time up. Off-speed pitch, strike 1 called. Tomorrow, R.A. Dickey against Anibal Sanchez for the Tigers. We're on the air at 12:30, full pregame show. Pitch is outside. After that, at 12:45, be here in your seats as the pregame festivities continue with a look back at the 40th season anniversary. 1:13, first pitch. Dickey will throw it. Pilar grounds one foul, third base side. Roberto will be here tomorrow. Joe Carter, their beloved manager, Cito Gaston, Devon White. There's quite a trio from 92 and 93. Johnny Mack, John McDonald here as well. George Bell tomorrow. Gruber and Sprague, they were pretty good 92 and 3 as well. Swing and a miss. Down goes Pilar. Boyd has blanked the Blue Jays on 2 hits over 4, and the Tigers lead at 2-0. Mike Wilner to call in the 5th and 6th. You're listening.
Super Group 4x4. When you pay what Ford employees pay, it's easy to get into a Ford. Aaron Sanchez's first pitch of this top of the 5th inning is a called strike on Cameron Maven. It's a 2-0 Detroit Tigers lead. It's been a rough go for Sanchez as he's there with strike 2, 0-2. Aaron's already thrown 88 pitches to get just 12 outs. But he's only given up 2 runs. The 0-2 pitch swung on, hit on the ground to third. Barney's got to hurry with Maven running, and a great throw across the diamond. 1 away. Darwin Barney has showed us something I didn't expect, Kevin Barker, this year. Barney, a Gold Glover at second base. But, man, does he ever have a third baseman's arm?
Yeah, he has got well, it's his feet. The way he sets his feet, he moves his feet. He catches the ball already in a throwing position. That way he can release it in a hurry and make that strong throw. But we're seeing here Aaron Sanchez is working quicker. Obviously, Pete Walker, the pitching coach, said, let's get a little bit more rhythm. Find him that slot so you can throw strikes.
Miguel Cabrera, first pitch curveball is down and away, ball 1. Sanchez has given up 2 runs on 5 hits. He walked 2 and hit a man in the second inning, an inning in which the Tigers scored 1 of the 2 runs. There's a hard ground ball left side. Tulowitzki on the back end. Throw across the diamond. Got him! From the outfield turf behind Darwin Barney at third base. Troy Tulowitzki with as nice a play as you'll see from a shortstop. 2 away.
Well, we see that on an everyday basis. He makes it look easy. Catch the ball first, plant your foot, jump in the air, throw a strike to Edwin. And then after Edwin catches the ball, he shakes the head like, hey, just sort of used to catching that at the shoulders. Perfect throw.
Perfect throw while he was moving the other way and while he was out on what would be the outfield grass. Amazing play by Troy Tulowitzki. Now the Jays go into the shift for Victor Martinez, who it's the first pitch in the air, right field, not deep. Junior Lake's there. He makes the catch. Did I say Aaron Sanchez threw 86 pitches in the first 4 innings? He just threw 6 in the 5th. Started off, and we invite you to tune in after the game for the Acura play of the game. Junior struck out looking in his first trip, and he takes a first pitch curveball from Matt Boyd that's inside, ball 1. Mike Wilner, Kevin Barker, Jerry Howarth here with you, along with our on-site engineer and producer, the great Tom Young. Viken Poladian and Mark Boffo back at the flagship station. 1-0 pitch is ripped, knocked down by Castellanos. Get up, throw a bouncer, and throw it away. Lake will get to second base on this one as Castellanos saved a double, but the bad throw puts Lake at second base anyway to lead off this bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this is the Blue Jays inning. Boyd, only 61 pitches through 4 innings. This is a big spot here. You got to get something going here. Junior Lake, stop taking strikes. Be aggressive in the strike zone. Gets a good pitch to hit. Hits it hard. Blue Jays in business.
Now here's Devin Travis, who popped up in his first at-bat. 2-0 Tigers. A great play by Castellanos just to knock that ball down, but then a wide throw. It's a single and an error. Travis tries to bunt his way on, and he bunts it foul, 0-1.
It's a nice try. First baseman Carrera's back. Good bunt. At the least, you get him to third with less than 2 outs.
Travis hitting .337 over his last 21 games, but in a bit of a rut here as he takes that pitch low. Ball 1, 1-1. Travis is 1 for his last 10 as he stands in here. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit foul, 1-2.
Yeah, a guy with a lot of parts. He's a stride separate guy. He eliminates the lower half. He strides, stop, and then tries to use his hands. Takes timing. You have to play a lot. You have to be on time all the time. Right now, he's not.
3 for 22 in the month of July. Started with that 1 for 7 day on Canada Day. The 1-2 is way high. And it's 2-2. But everyone's going to go through their ups and downs. And Devin Travis looks like he's going to be a really good big league
He
player.
is. Well, he tries to hit the ball the other way, lets it travel. That's going to help. But he's a young guy. He's going to go through those growing pains.
2-2 pitch to him. Swung on, fouled away again.
This is the big leagues. The big leagues make adjustments quicker than everybody else. And now a young guy like Devin Travis is going to have to adjust to that. You see more elevated fastballs. You see off-speed pitches down and away because he's trying to go the other way all the time. Big league pitchers are trying to go against that.
And the Tigers actually have a bit of a shift on him the other way. 2-2 curveball is down and in. It's like Andrew Romine, the shortstop, is sort of holding Junior Lake on second base, and there is a massive hole on the pull side. You almost never see that.
Well, you see the first baseman trying to take that hole away between first and second. That's where he hits the ball a lot on the ground.
Full count to Travis. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit foul again. And a nice battle going here.
You see where all the foul balls are at. They're late and over that first base dugout because Devin Travis is going to have to sooner than later learn how to use the entire field. Pull the ball when the ball's in. Not trying to always stay inside and fight that ball the other way. Go ahead and get the bat head out. Pull it.
We've seen him do that a few times. He's got 5 home runs. Full count pitch is inside. Called strike 3. Wow. Travis goes down looking on a pitch that was off the plate inside, and that Boyd missed by a ton on. Saltalamacchia had to come over and make the catch, but good enough for Mark Ripperger, and there's one away.
Well, they always say you get one pitch in a big league at bat to put in play. Devin Travis got more than one, didn't. That's usually what happens.
Junior Lake is at second with one out as Darwin Barney stands in. We'll remind you to tune in after the game for the accurate play of the game. And that pitch misses, down and away, ball 1. Blue Jays down 2-0 here to the Detroit Tigers. Jays are trying to extend their win streak to 8 games. Junior Lake at second base. The 1-0 to Barney. Swung on, foul back, 1-1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, there are 2 other games on the go right now. The Atlanta Braves lead the Chicago White Sox 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Gordon Beckham homered off of Jose Quintana in the first inning. It's 0-0 St. Louis and Milwaukee. They're in the bottom of the first. 1-1 to Barney, hit in the air, right field. Stephen Moya going back for it. Lake will tag. Catch is made and a bluff by Lake as the throw comes back in towards third. 2 down. Elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, bunch of games get going at 4 o'clock Eastern time, including the Reds and John Lamb against the Marlins and Adam Conley. Yankees are at Cleveland. CC Sabathia, the former Indian, against Danny Salazar. Oakland visits Houston. Kendall Graveman, the former Blue Jay, against Lance McCullers Jr. And the Mariners will throw Wade Miley at the Royals in Kansas City and Edinson Volquez. It's Arizona and Robbie Ray against the Giants in San Francisco. Jake Peavy on the hill for the home side. And the 2 AL East games, Orioles home to the Angels. Giovanni Gallardo against Nicholas Tropiano. Red Sox home to the Rays. Rick Porcello and Matt Moore. The Blue Jays are in an Orioles and Red Sox sandwich right now as Ezekiel Carrera takes the first pitch off the plate outside, called a strike, 0-1. Jays are a game back of the Orioles for first, a game ahead of the Red Sox. And Boston losing Craig Kimbrell to knee surgery today. He's going to be out 3 to 6 weeks. The Red Sox dealing for a closer yesterday in Brad Ziegler. 0-1 to Zeke is high. Ball 1, 1-1. Here it's 2-0. Detroit over the Blue Jays. Andrew Romine hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the second. RBI single for Jared Saltalamacchia in the fourth. And there is action in the Blue Jays bullpen with Aaron Sánchez at 92 pitches. 1-1 to Carrera is down for a ball. 2-1. It's Joe Biagini throwing for the Blue Jays. He was up last inning, but Sánchez got the Tigers in order on just 6 pitches. Junior Lake led off this inning by reaching on an infield single, going to second on a throwing error by Nick Castellanos. He's still at second with 2 out, and a 2-1 count on Ezekiel Carrera. Pitches hit down the line, fair and into the right field corner. That will get all the way to the wall. Lake comes in to score. Carrera hits second. He's not stopping. Ezekiel is into third with a slide and an RBI triple. Blue Jays cut the Tigers' lead in half. It's 2-1 on Carrera's first triple of the season.
Well, what makes him special is he's hitting left-handers. You get a 2-1 count, you pick location. Forget about pitch. Boyd's breaking ball has been good enough that you have to now pick location. He gets something middle in. He's looking for it. He gets the bat head out. Big hit.
And all of a sudden, with the Blue Jays offense having done nothing today, here we are with Josh Donaldson at the plate and the tying run 90 feet away. The chance of MVP in the stands, and the first pitch is down and in for ball 1. Donaldson's 0 for 1. He's walked and he's popped up. And he's got a chance to tie this game with a base hit and put the Jays on top with a home run, as he's done so often. 1-0 pitch there for a strike. 1-1. You don't often see balls hit down the line that avoid that retaining wall that juts out. But Carrera snuck it in and got it all the way to the corner. That's why he's at third. 1-1 pitch is up and in, ball 2, 2-1.
Inside the ball with some backspin. When it hit the ground, it had backspin. It went straight instead of had that curve out and around it. That's why he kept it fair. That's why he's a big league hitter. I used to try and do that. It took me 17 years. That's why I only played 16. Wait, does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense a little. The 2-1 pitch is a big curveball that misses high. And it's 3-1 on Donaldson as Alex Wilson begins to warm up in the Tigers bullpen. You might remember Alex Wilson from Thursday night. He gave up a 2-run single to Troy Tulowitzki that put the Jays on top for good. 3-1 pitch, way high, ball 4. And the 2-out rally continues for Edwin Encarnacion.
First baseman number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Pitching coach Rich Doobie going to come out and have a talk to Matt Boyd as he's in trouble for the first time since the first inning.
Well, that's what this lineup does is they pass the baton. They're not afraid to take pitches and hand it to the next guy. It just so happens the next guy behind the reigning MVP is Edwin Encarnacion, who loves spots like this early in counts. He's seen the breaking ball. He's seen the changeup. To me, early in this count, he's going to have to look all speed, look breaking ball, get it out over the plate, try and hit it hard.
Edwin singled to center in the first inning, a ball that was booted by Cameron Maben. And he flied out hard to right field in the third. Now he's got runners on the corners and 2 out, and the Blue Jays trailing the Tigers by a score of 2-1. Jays have won 7 straight to move to within a game of first place in the AL East. Boyd is set. Former Blue Jay delivers, and the first pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Not where Edwin was looking, although Edwin just looked at the skies right there. Maybe it was, and he just didn't pull the trigger.
Well, I think Edwin's thinking along with me. He's seen that breaking ball. He knows if he gets it up, he can elevate that and hit the home run on it. Not what he's looking for.
0-1 pitch down and away. 1-1.
That's what the great ones do. Even though he's looking for something else and he gets a cookie like that fastball middle in, take it. You're not looking for it.
Big crowd. Looks like a sellout here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays leading the American League in attendance. Looking for something to cheer about. A 1-1 pitch. Hit in the air. foul territory, first base side, trying to get into the seats. It won't. Cabrera makes the catch just in front of that first row of seats. So Edwin strands a pair, but the Blue Jays get on the board on the RBI triple by Ezekiel Carrera to deal with the 5, 6, 7 hitters of the Detroit Tigers. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Jays down 2-1. Aaron Sánchez will not go to the All-Star break 10-1. He is the pitcher of record to lose this game. Biagini's first pitch is a fastball right at the bottom of the zone called strike one. Sánchez struggled today, but still only gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. He allowed 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 4, hit 1. Through 92 pitches, 58 of them for strikes. 0-1 pitch, curveball, hit in the air in right field. Closing on it is Lake. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Junior Lake. That ball almost beat him into the gap and would have been extra bases.
Yeah, great play in right field there by Lake, but getting back to Aaron Sánchez, didn't look like he had a whole lot of rhythm. That's why the last thing you see him working quicker. Obviously, they were having conversations. Up your tempo, try and get the hand in the slot more to manipulate that sinker a little bit more. Just, power and talent sort of worked him through the innings he worked through there. That's what you can do.
Here's Justin Upton. And the first pitch is a called strike. Same place as the first pitch to Castellanos.
Some guys like Aaron Sánchez can just rear it back and throw it by people, and today he had to do that a lot.
It is a telling thing about a young pitcher's evolution that he can do that. The 0-1 swung on and missed on an off-speed pitch 0-2. A lot of times when guys don't have their best stuff, they're gone in the 3rd inning. It's tough to battle through when you're not at your best, especially for a guy who just turned 24.
Yeah, it's true what they say. It's not how hard you throw it, it's where you throw it.
0-2 count on Justin Upton. Biagini from the stretch. The pitch is low. Ball 1-1-2. And that seemed to get Russ Martin in rather a sensitive area. He is going to stand up and walk it off a little bit as Mark Ripperger goes halfway out to the mound to give Russ a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I don't see how they do it and perform at the plate going to hit. You see taking that ball off the forearm, it looks like.
Yeah, it looked like the wrist again as he was protecting that rather sensitive area.
His ball's hurt.
That they do.
Trust me.
1-2 pitch, down, ball 2, 2-2. Russ Martin, I'm sure, is going to love these 4 days off next week. Two-1 Tigers. We're here in the top of the 6th inning. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 5-4. Detroit's made the game's only 2 errors, but it hasn't cost them yet. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Biagini strikes him out, 2 down.
I guess that's why hitting catchers don't come around every day, because of the beating they take behind the plate like that, trying to get pitchers through certain things. Biagini's different than Sánchez with the hard breaking ball. He's bouncing it in front of the plate, and just everything they go through to try and get pitchers through certain parts of the game is impressive.
Here's Steven Moya, who's 0 for 2. Biagini pitching from the stretch. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1. We talk about catchers and we say, well, they get tired wearing all the equipment. They're crouching 150 times a game and involved so much. But we don't talk a lot about foul tips off the wrist, off the thumb, off the hand that can really kill you as a hitter.
Yeah, and mentally draining, too. You got to think what they think about just putting the right fingers down, when not to put a finger down, when to, how and get pitchers. The less the pitcher thinks, the better off they are.
Pitch is down, bounces up to the plate, 1-1. Yeah, Mark Burley was famous for just turning his brain off. Whatever the catcher put down, he would throw. He didn't shake a guy for 10 years.
Yeah.
Said it was because the last time he shook off a pitch, someone hit him with a line drive. 1-1 fastball swung through and missed, 1-2.
Oh, I guess you got to learn the hard way, don't you? Right.
2 out, nobody on. Joe Biagini on in relief of Aaron Sánchez, who went the first 5. The Blue Jays trailing the Detroit Tigers 2-1. Biagini had a bump in the road last month, but he's come out of it and been great since. 1-2 pitch. Low ball 2. Beautiful day, beautiful crowd, hoping to cheer the Blue Jays on to their 8th straight win. 2-2 pitch, outside, and the count is full. Alex Wilson continues to throw in the Tigers' bullpen. Middle of the order due up for the Blue Jays today. The 4, 5, 6 are Russell Martin, Troy Tulowitzki, and Kevin Pillar. And they're a combined 1 for 6 so far. Full count pitch, swung on and missed. Biagini struck him out. Terrific inning for Joe coming on in relief of Sánchez. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays down by 1, trailing the Tigers 2-1. And here comes Al. Run on 4 hits over 5 innings with 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. The Blue Jays trail the Tigers 2-1 as Russell Martin stands in. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to App Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Wilson starts off Russell Martin with the first pitch that's down and away for ball 1. Russ has struck out twice against Matt Boyd. Takes that pitch outside, ball 2, 2-0. Blue Jays have won 7 in a row. They're a game back of first place in the American League East. And Wilson misses way outside to Martin, 3-0, and none of them close so far. Alex Wilson comes set. 3-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. Continues to stay away.
Right into Russell's strength. Stay right center. He loves to hit the ball over there. Look for it right here.
There's a swing and a fly ball right field. He didn't get it. Stephen Moy is there. Barely has to move and makes the catch for the first out.
Shortstop #2, Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, Russell was trying to go over there. Just missed. He's a little bit out in front. It looked like no ill effects from taking a couple of balls off that lower wrist. That bottom hand, when you have taken a couple of balls from a pitcher off that bottom hand, it's got to be tough to swing the bat.
Here's Troy Tulowitzki, who's 0 for 2. He's flied to center and he's flied to right. And he takes the first pitch down for ball 1. Time for the Ask the Experts question, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And today, Kevin, I want to give you a hybrid of like 3 or 4 Ask the Experts questions that we've been asked. And by the way, you can get your questions to us by tweeting us with the hashtag HHExperts. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. Jays are playing today. Jays played last night. Quick turnaround and you're out of rhythm. What does that do to a hitter to play in a day game after a night game? Is there any effect?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it all has to do with the pitcher. If the pitcher has a good approach to you, you're only as good as that pitcher.
Pitch is a strike called, 2-1. But do you do anything differently to prepare? As like it's always optional batting practice, day game after night game, that sort of thing.
I always like to take batting practice all the time. I know the Blue Jays today took it in the tunnel. They took it in the cage. It was optional. It's certain guys. It's different strokes for different folks. If that guy feels like he needs to do it, then that's what he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's up to the player, I think. And to me, it was no ill effects. Basically, it has to do with the pitcher. If the pitcher's good, that day game after that night game, you're probably not going to have a good day. And I think it's basically that simple.
Tulowitzki takes ball 3, so he's ahead in the count, 3-1 here. Troy with 15 home runs. Blue Jays down 1. 3-1 pitches, fouled away, and the count is full.
Just like Matt Boyd today was throwing a bunch of slow breaking balls early in the count. He was throwing change-ups. He was sort of pitching behind. He would elevate the fastball He would throw fastballs in. He would throw fastballs down and away. He had a nice little mix going. So sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the pitcher. And I think today with the starting pitcher, it was one of those days. Had nothing to do with night game, day game the next day. I don't think it had anything to do with that.
Full count pitch to Tulo. Popped up. Shallow left field. Out goes the shortstop, Andrew Romine, calling for it. Shades on. Makes a catch. 2 down. Matt Boyd has only pitched well against the Blue Jays this year. Just called up from AAA to make this start. Boyd faced the Blue Jays on June 7th, gave up a run on 3 hits over 5 1/3 innings. Today gave up a run on 4 hits over 5 innings. So that's 2 runs in 10 1/3 innings against the Blue Jays. Against everybody else, he's given up 19 runs in 58 2/3 innings. First pitch to Pilar is down and away for ball 1.
Think it had anything to do with I'll show you for trading me kind of thing? Is there anything to that, you think?
I don't know if it's an I'll show you. I mean, they traded him for David Price. He's got to know that, hey, they need to get David Price. But maybe it's a, hey, look what you gave up sort of thing.
Right.
Pitches in the dirt, ball 2, 2-0. Matt Boyd gave up 3 home runs in his first start, 3 or 4 home runs in his major league debut. All solo shots against the Rangers in a game the Jays lost 4-0. And then had one of the worst starts in major league history the second time out against the Boston Red Sox. 2-0, outside ball 3.
Well, when you're left-handed and you don't throw super hard, you have to be real fine. And Matt's not always locating the fastball, locating the curveball, throwing the changeup where he wants. It's tough for him when he doesn't do that.
3-0 pitch, Pilar taking, and he takes the strike on the outside corner. And another Blue Jay well ahead in the count. Tulowitzki was 3-1, fouled the pitch off and popped up. Now Pilar is 3-1. He's 1 for 2. It's one of the Blue Jays' 4 hits today. The pitch is swung on and grounded up the middle. Romine to his left makes a nice play, throws to first, and the inning is over. So Alex Wilson comes in, gets the Blue Jays 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the 7th with Jerry Howarth back of the...
Sportsnet Now, a new way to live stream sports without cable TV. Visit sportsnet.ca/now to start your free trial today. 7th inning, Tigers lead at 2-1. Jared Saltalamacchia, switch hitter, batting left-handed against the right-hander and reliever Joe Biagini, who misses outside ball 1. The Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, 5 left. Blue Jays a run on 4 hits, no errors, 5 left. Saltalamacchia and Andrew Romine on deck. The 8th and 9th hitters have been in trouble today. Ground ball back to the mound, speared by Biagini. Throw it to first in time. And that is the first time that the 8th and 9th hitters today have been retired. In this case, Saltalamacchia.
What do you do, Jerry? You get ahead in the count and you throw your best pitch. Right now, Joe Biagini, that spotted up heater and throwing that changeup. Talk to Pete Walker. He said adding the changeup's taking a lot of pressure. Now he doesn't always have to throw that breaking ball for a strike. Gives him more weapons.
Saltalamacchia retired. He had walked and singled the center to knock in a run. Here's Romine, left-hand hitting shortstop, batting 9th. He fouls one down the left field side. Romine was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning by Aaron Sánchez. The game was scoreless until that happened. And then later Romine singled and stole a base, was left on in the 4th inning. That's when Upton's double was brought home by Saltalamacchia's single to make it 2-0. The pitch is low. The Blue Jays' lone run came in the 5th inning. Junior Lake reached on an error. And then later with 2 down, tripled home by Ezekiel Carrera. 1-1 pitch is inside. And to be precise, Junior Lake had reached on an infield hit to third and went to second on a throwing error. The run turned out to be earned as it was when Carrera tripled into the right field corner to bring that single home for the Blue Jays' lone run, trailing 2-1. There's a shot to first by Edwin. It goes down the line. That's a base hit. Hits the wall before it gets to the corner. But the speedy Romine goes into second base, standing up. The throw comes in behind him. And the 8th and 9th hitters today have reached 5 out of 6 times.
Second baseman number 3, Ian Kinsler.
Well, I just mentioned you have to pitch ahead. You fall behind in the count. Biagini there, a 2-1 fastball to Romine, who has a short, quick swing. Not a whole lot to it. Not a whole lot of wasted movement, just putting bat on ball. He does that with the double.
Be sure and play the VTech Bottom of the Ninth Trivia Challenge for your chance to win weekly VTech prize packs, plus the grand prize, that family trip for 4 to next year's spring training in Dunedin. So enter now and play on your smartphone, tablet, or online at VTechTrivia.com for your chance to win. 2-1, Tigers, 1 out. 7th inning, a double puts Romine on for leadoff hitter Ian Kinsler, who has struck out and grounded out twice. He takes it down and in, ball 1. Out in the Tigers bullpen, some activity as the right-hander Bruce Rondon begins to loosen up. The Blue Jays in left center field have a quiet bullpen, although Drew Storen beginning to stretch those legs. 1-0 pitch, ripped foul past third, and Coach Dave Clark, it's 1-1. The crowd here today on this beautiful sunny day, and now that gray overcast sky we had just maybe about 45 minutes ago, gone. Bright blue skies, white clouds passing across the top of the Rogers Center from left to right. 47,684. 47,684. Yet another sold-out game.
It's a beautiful day for baseball.
Blue Jays lead the American League in attendance, over 1,000,007, and average at 38.5. Biagini looks at second. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pulled on the ground to third. Taken by Barney. Look at the runner at second. Throw to second. The head first dive. The tag by Travis. Out at second base. It's the runner Romine on a beautiful play and look by Darwin Barney.
Center fielder number 4, Cameron Mabin.
Well, what's Darwin Barney do on the hard ground ball? He looks him back and then acts like he's going to throw it to first. And then throws it to second. Heads up play. We talked about this, Jerry, over and over again. What role players and veteran guys bring to a team. Put them in their right spots and let them go out there and play. And that's what Darwin Barney is doing every day.
And look at today. Barney at third. Travis at second. They just combined for the out. And Ezekiel Carrera with the play of the game. A double play with the bases loaded. Nobody out in the second inning. When Stephen Moya lined one to left, and here the Tigers are going to challenge that call at second base. Carrera took the line drive and then threw a strike to the plate to get the sliding Victor Martinez. Those are 3 players here who have really made it stand up. In addition to Ryan Goins, who's on the DL now with the absence of first Tulowitzki and now Bautista.
Sometimes you're only as good as your bench, and sometimes you have a door open for you. You need to walk through it, and every guy you mentioned there is doing just that, stepping up for their team.
Tigers lead at 2-1. The throw was there, the head first slide. Reaching down for the tag was Devin Travis, and the question is, did he reach out in front of the bag as the hands of the head first slide there by Romine got his hand on the bag before he was tagged up in the right shoulder, and that's going to be an interesting look back in New York. What used to be a given on a play like that is no longer. So the Tigers going to challenge that here. We mentioned that tomorrow, come on out early, 12:45 pregame festivities to honor the 40th season. There'll be a lot of great moments, and part of that will be the presence of Roberto Alomar. And he's in the Hall of Fame for so many reasons, but one of them, Kevin Barker, his artful head-first slides with his hands to avoid being tagged.
Yeah. Do a very good job. This is going to be really close here at second, but you have to give Devin Travis credit for being heads up at second, no matter how this turns out. Darwin Barney heads up, trying to get that lead runner, trying to help a pitcher out here in a tough spot.
Well, the headsets are off. This would not be surprising for me anyway to see this call overturned. We'll see. He is out. So they're going to go with the call that they had. And I think there's a situation, too, with Luis Rivera, the Blue Jays' fine infield instructor and third base coach. The Blue Jays got the call in their favor, and later he'll work with Devin Travis on how to apply that tag in front of the bag.
Well, you want to go more left or right than pushing it straight up and down there the way Devin Travis did. It's still a heads-up play. It's a bang-bang play. Worked out for the Blue Jays.
So terrific job by Barney. They catch Andrew Romine at second base. Kinsler at first on the fielder's choice. 2-1 Tigers. 2 out, 7th inning. Here's the right-handed hitting Cameron Mabin. Kinsler the lead. He runs well. The Biagini pitch. High, ball 1. Kinsler's 8 of 11 stealing bases. we mentioned earlier, one of 5 second basemen in the American League in their history with 200 home runs and 200+ stolen bases. Pitch on the way. Foul back to the top of the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you can see Joe there really holding the ball. Ian Kinsler really wants to get that walk and lead. He wants to take a walk and start and try and steal that base. But Joe's doing a good job holding the ball, and then delivering to home plate. Good job.
Biagini ready, so is Maben, who's 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 groundouts. Throw to first, Kinsler back in. Tigers with 6 of the game's 10 hits. So Biagini set. Kinsler does not go. The pitch is fouled off to the right. Kinsler looked like right there he had second base easily stolen, and now the Blue Jays will have to remind Biagini either throw over or make sure you pay attention to that runner, because there Kinsler just kind of an afterthought, and he was well on his way to second.
It's almost like a secondary lead. You're taking at second to get a bigger lead. He's trying to get a walking lead. Hold the ball, and then deliver.
There goes Kinsler, stepping off the rubber. Biagini throw to second, and the ball gets away from Devin Travis. Rolls into center field, and the best laid plans of mice and men. They had him and let him go, and Kinsler ends up at third base there on a throwing error by Biagini. Devin tried to pick him up there with that low throw at the bag. Biagini stepped off. They had him, but he bounced his throw in front of the bag.
So many times in these games, it's a learning curve for Joe Biagini. There's one of them, a veteran guy at first base that steals bases. Do a better job on that.
Now the 1-2 pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Kinsler tipped his hand on the pitch before, and then he got caught in no man's land, and he just committed to the bag. So it's a 2-base throwing error. And he's at third base. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball. Strike 3 called, caught him looking. Kinsler left to third. Biagini with his third strikeout in 2 scoreless innings. Bottom of the 7th we go. Tigers 2, Blue Jays 1. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ever notice that when
Michael Saunders off the bench to pinch hit for Junior Lake as the Tigers lead it 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Listen to the hand. For All-Star Michael Saunders.
Has a nice ring to it, All-Star.
Now the right-hander Bruce Rondon out of that bullpen to protect a 1-run lead. Saunders in 80 games hitting .302. He takes it low and inside, ball 1. He's chipped in with 16 home runs, 3 shy of his career high of 19, set a number of years ago with Seattle. He's driven in 41. The combined on-base percentage, slugging percentage, .937. 800 is pretty good. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I like the approach. When you're pinch hitting like this, you look location. It's too hard to go up looking for a pitch. You look location. If you're looking in, no matter what the pitch, swing at it. You see Michael Saunders there is looking in. He's looking to pull something.
Rondon set. Leg kick. Pitch. Inside to the backstop it goes, 2-1. The Blue Jays' lone run came in the 5th inning. Junior Lake, whom Michael Saunders is pinch hitting for here, singled infield at third to second on the wild throw by the third baseman Nick Castellanos. 2 outs later, Ezekiel Carrera tripled him home. But that is it here today. Blue Jays are running 4 hits down 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Laid on a fastball at 97 miles an hour. It's 2-2. Tigers runs in the 2nd and 4th innings, both off Aarón Sánchez, and over his 5-inning stint, gave up those 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 4, walked a couple, hit a man. That was Andrew Romine with the bases loaded for that first run in the 2nd inning. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground slowly to third. Castellanos has it. Throws it on to first to get the hustling Saunders. 1 down.
Second baseman number 29, Devin Travis.
Jerry, you asked me what the difference is between the American League and the National League. Here, this is what I tried to do late in games. Coming in, facing guys that throw 97, 98, 99 with a hard breaking ball. It's the hardest thing to do in baseball is to try and do that.
Well, here's Devin Travis, 0-for-2. He takes strike one called. Not an easy game to play.
It is not. Round thing with a round thing is very hard.
Devin has popped up and called that on strikes. Tigers have left 6 today. The Blue Jays 5. Strike one, pitch, swing and a miss. Chasing that was Travis. No balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays with that 7-game winning streak, and they've out-hit and outscored the opponents 55 runs to 18, but today just 3 total runs. A foul back to the top of the screen. Jason Grilli on top of the bullpen mound out in left center field. Joe Biagini's done a nice job. 2 scoreless innings for Sanchez after his first 5. Aaron still the pitcher of record to lose it. Matt Boyd to win it. Strike 2 pitch. Bounce to the plate. Dirt goes flying. Chalk as well. And the ball squirts up along third, 1 and 2.
And to even make it harder, Rendon, this is the era of the quick pitch. Guy throws 97 with a nice, easy movement. And then with 2 strikes, he quick pitches you. That's adding a different element, makes it that much harder.
So Devin up there, right-handed hitter, casting a shadow right behind home plate on this bright sunny day. Now time is called by the plate umpire Mark Rippiger. Rondon is set. Shrug of the shoulders. The 1-2 pitch, low and outside. Darwin Barney on deck. Right now, in great part, the difference in this game, the 8th and 9th hitters, Travis and Barney 0-for-4. Saltalamacchia and Romine, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base. 2-2 pitch, fouled off right-hand side. There was a time the Texas Rangers in 1999, right in there in the late 90s, went to the playoffs, and their 9th hitter all year, Kevin Elster, drove in 99 runs. So paramount in the American League. The 2-2 pitch, fly ball deep left field. Back for Justin Upton. He's in the shadows of the Rogers Center. Jumps, there she goes. Devin Travis' 6th home run has just dramatically tied this game 2-2 with the Detroit Tigers in the bottom of the 7th.
Third baseman number 18, Darwin Barney.
Jerry, to be a right-handed hitter and do this after just seeing 99 middle away and then getting that 88-mile-an-hour slider up and away, that's an unbelievable piece of hitting by Devin Travis.
It's back to even. Pitch to Barney. Darwin takes it outside. Ball 1. Devin Travis can hit.
I mentioned earlier he's going to have to learn how to pull the baseball. I guess he was listening to our show, Jerry. He did it.
Barney has popped up and flied out to shallow right. Well, there's a contribution, a key one from an 8th hitter. Barney pops one up on the right side, angling out from second. Looking up, second baseman Ian Kinsler makes the catch with the right fielder right behind him. 2 down.
And what's great about that at bat, too, he understood that Rondon throws 2 pitches, a fastball, a slider. You can guess one or the other. You're going to get one or the other. You're selling out for the fastball. You adjust slider. You can tell the way he was way out on his front foot. He did that. He kept his hands back far enough. Big-time hit.
So the Tigers bullpen with a blown save. This one to Bruce Rondon. Here's Ezekiel Carrera. Left-hand hitter takes strike 1. Carrera tripled home. Junior Lake back in the 5th inning. That gave the Blue Jays their first run. They were down 2-0 at the time. And now they've caught the Tigers here with a 1-out home run to left into the Blue Jays bullpen by Devin Travis. Strike 1 pitch. That's outside. And now Jason Grilli will finish his warm-ups here. Donaldson on deck, of course, hopeful for an at-bat. The Blue Jays with their 130th home run. Pitch on the way. Fastball strike. It's 1-2. Interesting to note, the Tigers, with Matt Boyd's 5 innings here today, allowing just a run on 4 hits, That marks now their 11th straight start without giving up a home run. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Pitch on the way. Strike 3 called. Carrera caught licking. Blue Jays are gone, but Devin Travis has tied it up at 2. We go to the 8th inning. Jason Grilli will come on. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball with the Tigers in town on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Read more about your Toronto Blue Jays in Sportsnet Magazine. This is
the Devin Travis home run to tie this one at 2. Junior Jays Saturdays presented by Boston Pizza. So come on out. Still a lot of Saturdays to go. Go online to BlueJays.com for tickets. Michael Saunders stays in the game in left field, and Ezekiel Carrera shifts from left to right. Junior Lake is out. Saunders pinch hit for him. And now in this 8th inning, Jason Grilli here to face Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and Nick Castellanos, a tough trio. Cabrera is 0 for 3. Right-hander against right-hander. Check swing, did he go? Yes, on the appeal, says first base ump Paul Nauert.
It's a veteran pitcher throwing to a veteran hitter. Knows that Cabrera wants to be real aggressive early in the count. What you do, you take a little off the breaking ball to get an easy strike.
Jason in 14 games as a Blue Jay since coming from Atlanta, 2-0. His ERA a good one, 2.13. He's worked 12 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 9 hits, 3 runs. That's it. 22 strikeouts in 12 2/3 innings, 6 walks. Outstanding work from the veteran. Pitch to Cabrera. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes at 93.
I talked to Jason Phillips, the bullpen catcher for the Blue Jays, and I said, what makes Grilli so good? And he said he's able to take a little bit off the breaking ball and add a little bit to the breaking ball to give a hitter a different look. It's showing up here.
The 39-year-old veteran, 6'5", his dad, Steve, pitched here for the Blue Jays in 1 game in 79. Deals 0-2. Ball hit in the shallow right. The second baseman back, he's under it. Travis makes the catch. 1 down. Good read by Devin there, going back into the outfield. Blue Jays have done a great job containing Miguel Cabrera, who head down walks back almost with that frustrated body language down the steps of the first base dugout. In this series now 2 for 12. A couple of singles, and that's all.
Different sequences. You see Grilli start him off a breaking ball early. The starters were pounding him in with fastballs, getting him out late in counts with breaking balls, mixing and matching. That's what you have to do against good hitters.
Switch hitter Victor Martinez up hitting left-handed. Takes strike 1 called in this 8th inning. Tigers 2 runs, 6 hits. Blue Jays 2 runs, 5 hits. 47,684 here today, and the wave upstairs anyway, circling from left field, now just behind us and upstairs. 0-1 pitch. That's in there, strike 2 called. So there's, Kevin, what you're talking about, 80 miles an hour after going 93.
It is. Well, he's got a breaking ball at that 84 range. He's got one at 80. He's just mixing speeds, trying to keep these powerful hitters off stride.
Martinez has walked, grounded out, and flied out. Another veteran. The strike 2 pitch outside. Tomorrow wraps up the first half. R.A. Dickey against Anibal Sanchez. We're on the air at 12:30. One of our pregame guests, Al Kaline, the great ex-Tiger who played 21 years in the big leagues. You'll enjoy that conversation. 12:45 on-field presentation to help celebrate 40 seasons here, and then 1:13 first pitch. There's a foul right down below us. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Barker went after that foul ball with a vengeance. Wow, I haven't seen you move that fast in a year and a half.
Oh, that's awesome. I was trying to protect you, Jerry.
Well, then move even faster. One ball and 2 strikes. They count here on Martinez. And now all hands on with the wave. The pitch, another foul down below us. And it goes right into that wave area. Justin Wilson warming up in the Tigers bullpen out in right center field. He's a lefty. Now he's kind of finished his warm-ups and doing a deep knee bend on the top of that mound, looking through the chain link fence at home plate. And this confrontation here between Jason Grilli and Victor Martinez. Shift on, 3 infielders to the right side. Darwin Barney, the third baseman, well out on the turf in the outfield. Glove at the waist. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball deep right center field. Long high drive. That's heading for the stands, and that goes into the flight deck here. A home run by Victor Martinez. And Detroit goes out in front 3-2 here in the 8th inning as the veteran Martinez solves Jason Grilli for Victor, home run number 17.
Well, we just mentioned Grilli has a knack of taking a little bit off and adding a 1-2 fastball, basically center cut, to a really good hitter that when you throw balls like that, he doesn't miss them. And there, Victor Martinez with a huge home run.
Well, on the Tigers, only one man with more home runs, Miguel Cabrera, 18. Nick Castellanos is at 17, and now Martinez. So it's a one-run game, Tigers again, and the batter Castellanos, 1 for 3. Nick takes strike one call, right-hander against right-hander.
The great hitters don't miss pitches like that, Jerry. When they get them, no matter what the count, they hit them hard, and Victor Martinez has been hitting them hard like that for a very long time.
So Grilli set. Strike one pitch. That one's rolled out in front of the plate, pounced on by the catcher Russ Martin, takes his time, flips to first in time, 2 away. That's how you can be quick without hurrying.
That's it. Controlled aggression. Russell Martin saying, I got it, calling off the pitcher. His momentum headed towards his target, which is first base. Throws a strike to Edwin. Nice play.
Well, the batter now, Justin Upton. So Victor Martinez with the go-ahead home run. He is the designated hitter today. On this day, just 3 years ago, Big Papi, David Ortiz, tied Harold Baines' mark for most hits by a designated hitter as he collected hit number 1,688. He now has 2,399 hits as a designated hitter, 524 home runs, 1,711 RBIs. The pitch is high, ball one. We mention that because after 20 years in the game, and he's announced his retirement and 3 World Series rings, it certainly for me would be a consensus first ever designated hitter into the Hall of Fame at Cooperstown.
I couldn't agree with that more. Pinch hitting 4 times. He's perfected it.
Fastball high, 2-0. And you wonder, and I'm sure everybody in Boston is going to plead with him, could you rethink retirement? Ortiz, as an average to go with home runs and RBIs, he's hitting .336 coming into play today, second in the league to Houston's Jose Altuve, hitting .347. A swing and a miss by Justin Upton. Up here now with a 2-1 count. Upton has singled, doubled, and scored and struck out.
Yeah, well, I was very fortunate to go with you to Boston and call some games there. And the one thing I noticed is early in the counts, David Ortiz really sails out. He really hunts that fastball, trying to put it in play hard. It's a great approach. It's been working out for him.
Grilli ready. And the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2. Baltimore comes in with a 1-game lead over the Blue Jays. What with that 7-game winning streak the Blue Jays have put together. 8 out of 10 in the win column. Boston is just a game behind the Blue Jays. The Red Sox are 47-38. They've won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. The Yanks and Tampa Bay, both teams under 500. 2-2 pitch. High ball 3. It's the Tigers trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Both losses right here. 5-4 Thursday and shut out yesterday 6-0. Two outs, nobody on 8th inning. Tigers up 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Grilli retires 3 out of 4, but it's the 4th that got away. And now the Blue Jays trying for another come-from-behind win. 3-2 Detroit, bottom of the 8th we go. You're listening to Home Hardware. Blue Jays account executives a call. Let them find the package that best suits your needs. Go to bluejays.com/luxury suites. Mike Aviles will come on to play right field for the Tigers as they now lead at 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Left-hander Justin Wilson out of the bullpen. He's going to face Josh Donaldson, Edwin Encarnacion, and Russ Martin. Josh has walked twice around to foul out the first. First pitch to him, breaking ball inside, ball 1. The starters will have no decisions. The bullpens will decide it. And a couple of relievers have already given up bases empty home runs. Jason Grilling and Bruce Rondon. A strike called to Josh. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's not often the opponents bring in a left-handed reliever to face 3 right-handed hitters like Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Martin.
It's not. Donaldson here's got to zone up, look for a pitch he can drive in the outfield.
There's a high pop-up on the infield. First baseman Miguel Cabrera comes in. He has it in fair territory. 1 down.
First baseman, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, Justin Wilson sort of throws across his body and has that inward tilt to a right-hander. Maybe that's the reason why he was brought into the game here in this situation. But, you know, today they've been trying to throw Josh Donaldson fastballs in, and it worked out so far.
Josh was hitting .354 against left-handed pitching. Here's Edwin. He fouls one at the plate, strike 1. And here's Mike Wilner with a St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
And a couple of games underway right now. The Chicago White Sox have a 5-3 lead over the Atlanta Braves as they play in the bottom of the 5th inning in Chicago. Todd Frazier has his 25th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. He's also got an RBI double.
Strike 1 pitch, fly ball right center field deep. Long high drive. Back for it, Maven, the center fielder. It's playable. On the track, he makes the catch, colliding with the right fielder Aviles, but still holding on to the ball for a long second out.
Well, Edwin looked like he posed. He thought he got it after he swung at it. The wind's picked up a little bit. Looks like it's blowing just a little right to left. Maybe he held the ball up a little bit. Just missed that one.
So the gloves and arms collide, but a stronger grip by Maven around that ball with his glove keeps it there for the out. Here's Russ Martin. 3-2 Tigers, 8th inning, the pitch outside, ball 1.
And elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, it's the Cardinals over the Brewers 2-1 in Milwaukee. Johnny Peralta with his 4th homer of the year. Coming up in about half an hour, the Red Sox are home to Tampa, Angels in Baltimore. For all the scores and stats, sportsnet.ca.
Thank you, Mike. Russ 0 for 3. Hits a ground ball up the middle. Base hit into left center field. Maven sprints over to cut it off. Scoops it up off the turf. Fires back to the infield. Martin a big turn. Back to first with a 2-out hit.
Shortstop number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, when Troy's going well, he's hunting fastball early in counts. This is one of those situations where you need to do that, something you can drive in the outfield. The old saying is, right guy, right spot. Since the DL, Troy's been a lot of that.
And now Tulowitzki, 0 for 3. He's flied out twice and popped to short. 3-2 Tigers, 8th inning, 2 down. Martin to lead, the lefty's pitch outside, ball 1. Crowd will start that chant. Troy taps the inside part of the plate with that brown bat. Red and blue batting gloves on both hands. He awaits the 1-0 pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Wilson evens it at 1-1. Tulowitzki has Justin Upton deep in left field. And right behind him through that chain link fence, a couple of relievers, Drew Storn and Roberto Osuna. Troy takes it inside, almost hit by that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you can tell the way Troy's taking those balls. He's trying to get that bat head out in front of the plate to drive something. You get a little bit of loft, get a little bit of sort of uppercut out in front of the plate to elevate this ball. He's looking to drive it.
Cabrera holds on the runner, Martin at first base. And the Wilson 2-1 offering, swing and a miss. Strike 2 at 94 miles an hour. Wilson gets even now, 2-2. Three runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. 2 errors, 6 left. Blue Jays 2 runs, 6 hits, an error, 5 left. A lot of crooked numbers up on that scoreboard. And again, the stretch. The 2-2 offering inside, ball 3. So he's come inside a couple of times here. Hasn't hit Tulowitzki, but he's set up that outside corner.
He has. Well, he's seen, 5 fastballs? You're Troy Tulowitzki here. You got to think you're going to get another fastball. Stay with that same approach in the big part of the field, down and through it.
So with 2 down, Martin will be going the stretch. He goes 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him inside again, and the inning is over. A single and nothing more. We go to the 9th inning. They're going to open up that bullpen gate for right-hander Drew Storen. The Tigers 3, the Blue Jays 2. You're listening.
Fan.
This 9th inning is brought to you by Ford Employee Pricing for your drive home. Get $3,485 in total price adjustments on the 2017 Escape Titanium all-wheel drive. When you pay what Ford employees pay, it's easy to get into a Ford. 3-2 Detroit, top of the 9th inning. Mike Aviles, right-handed hitter, against right-hander Drew Storen coming out of the Blue Jays bullpen. His first pitch, strike 1. Good fastball at 91, well placed at the knees. Aviles, up for his first time, came on last inning for right fielder Steven Moya, who went 0 for 3. Aviles hitting just .209 in 48 games. Swings and misses, strike 2, full badly on that off-speed pitch.
It's amazing how much better of a pitcher you are when you get ahead in the count. You get ahead in the count, you can expand the zone, make it look like a strike when it's not. You get weird swings like that.
And the 0-2 delivery is outside. Kevin Barker with us this 4-game series. Joe upstairs with Buck Martinez on the television side. Now, usually we introduce Kevin as Hazel May's husband, but in this case we have to actually use your full name.
I appreciate that.
Francisco Rodriguez, the Tigers closer, warming up in right center. The 1-2 pitch is outside. 23 saves for Francisco Rodriguez. They call him K-Rod for a good reason. He's got a great weapon there in 29 2/3 innings, 29 strikeouts. That's the weapon, and only 10 walks. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 1 down to start the 9th.
Catcher number 39, Jared Santalamacchia.
Well, when Drew gets ahead in the count with the fastball, he can go to the slider and the slow breaking ball. There he gives Aviles the slow breaking ball for the strikeout. But when he gets ahead in the count and can utilize the off-speed pitches he has, he's a really good pitcher.
Well, the batter now, Jared Santalamacchia. Switch hitter batting left-handed. 1 for 2, an RBI single, and he's also walked. He takes strike 1 at the knees. In the bottom of the 9th inning, as we mentioned already, the closer with 23 saves, Francisco Rodriguez. Kevin Pillar, Michael Saunders, Devin Travis, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up. After that, Darwin Barney. A swing and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes. On the Blue Jays bench, Andy Burns is summoned from AAA Buffalo. Josh Tolley and Justin Smoke. Shift on here, 3 infielders to the right of second. Third baseman Darwin Barney out in shallow right. The 0-2 pitch, bounce to the plate.
You would have to think sometime in that 9th inning you might see Justin Smoke. He's a threat. You never know. He could run into one. Might look to see him hitting somewhere in the 9th inning.
So a lot at stake here. 1-run ball game. Blue Jays with a 7-game winning streak. Time is called. And now getting back in there is Santalamacchia. And Storen set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to the right side. The shift is there. Travis has it. Second baseman plays it on the first. 2 down.
Shortstop number 17, Andrew Romine.
Well, it's fair to say that Andrew Romine and just before him Santalamacchia have been as key for anybody here today. Tigers with a run in the second. Romine is up here now. Was hit by a pitch by Aaron Sanchez with the bases loaded to make it 1-0. Aaron later induced Ian Kinsler to ground out to short, leaving the bases loaded. Then the Tigers added another run in the 4th for a 2-0 lead. Romine a swing and a miss. Strike 1. In the fourth, with one out, Justin Upton doubled. And with two down, Saltalamacchia did his thing with a single to center off Aaron to make it 2-0. Blue Jays then with runs in the fifth and seventh innings. And then in the top of the eighth inning of Jason Grilli, a home run to right center by Victor Martinez for the lead. Ball pulled on the ground at first, backhanded by Edwin. Run to the bag, underhand toss, stepping on the bag, Storin. Well done. And the inning is over. Bottom of the ninth we go. Tigers 3, the Blue Jays 2. K-Rod coming out of that Tigers pen in right center. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet. His right-hander here, the veteran Francisco Rodriguez at 23. With the White Sox, David Robertson also at 23. Francisco burst on the scene as a rookie with the 2002 Angels, helped them win a 7-game World Series against the Giants. And here he is 14 years later and still going strong. The pitch to Kevin Pillar starting the ninth inning. 3-2 Tigers. There's a good breaking ball for strike one called.
Yeah, that's what he does. Fastball changeup. You're going to have to eliminate one of them. If I'm facing him, I'm getting closer to him. I'm going to try and make him throw me fastballs. You got to pick your poison, one or the other.
Kevin 1 for 3, a single to right. Stretch. And the strike one pitch moves outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. How tough is Rodriguez? He's allowed only 5 runs in his last 25 outings, pitching to an ERA of 1.93. So the Blue Jays have their work cut out for them to try to get 1 run to tie it, 2 to win it. Saunders on deck. And the 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Kinsler right there to glove it. Throws it on to first. 1 down. Hard hit ball, but Kinsler up to the task. And here's Michael Saunders.
Left fielder number 21, Michael Saunders.
Well, when you're facing guys like Rodriguez that have a lot of movement in their windup, you got to pick a spot. You got to try and find release points and eliminate all those other things. It's easier said than done. And then look baseball and try and swing at a strike. Very hard. That's why he's so successful.
Saunders pinch hit for Junior Lake. Grounded out to third back in the 7th inning. So his second at-bat. Tigers by a run. 3-2. Bottom of the 9th inning. 1 out. Pitch to Saunders. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. So you're thinking fastball, you get a pitch at 81.
That's right. That's why if I'm facing him, I'm going to try and mentally mess him up a little bit, scoot closer to him. Change is hard for a baseball player, but sometimes you got to do it.
They play Saunders straight up, no shift. Strike 1 pitch is over but low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Roberto Osuna just throwing baseballs back and forth leisurely in that Blue Jays bullpen in left center. Blue Jays here trying to get Roberto into the game in the 10th inning, if nothing else, to tie it, if not win it, as we mentioned. It's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Saunders. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Tigers dropped the first 2. They're 45 and 42. The Blue Jays, a game out of first place, 50 and 39. They put together a 7-game winning streak, averaging 8 runs per game in the 7 wins, and just 2 runs, 6 hits a day. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So it's been Tigers pitching today. Matt Boyd, and now 4th reliever.
Second baseman number 29, Devin Travis.
Well, you get changeup after changeup. That's what I said. Maybe you need to try and move closer to the plate. But he quick pitched the pitch before and threw him a changeup. It's just real tough. There's a reason why he has as many saves as he does.
Devin up here. He homered to left field to dramatically tie the game at 2 in the 7th inning. But in the 8th off Jason Grilli, Victor Martinez, a long home run to right center, is 17th. And it's 3-2 Detroit here in the 9th. 2 down, nobody on. Devin takes outside, ball 1. Matt Boyd went 5, gave up a run on 4 hits, and no decision for him. Starter Aaron Sanchez went 5, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, and no decision for him. Alex Wilson, Bruce Rondon, Justin Wilson, now Francisco Rodriguez out of the Tigers pen. 1-0 delivery. A strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Joe Biagini, Jason Grilli, and Drew Storin for the Blue Jays. Biagini, 2 scoreless innings. Grilli, the home run allowed to Martinez, the only hitter who got away from him, and then storing a 1-2-3 top of this ninth. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground to third. Is taken by Castellanos. So at the first. And the Tigers stop the Blue Jays' 7-game winning streak with a narrow 3-2 win here this afternoon at the Rogers Center. We'll be back with more right after this. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The really big sale is back at Tip Top Tailors, and it's really living up to its name.
Come to Tip Top Tailor's really big sale and save up to 50%. Now that's worth stopping in for. 50% off suit separates and sport coats from Bellissimo, Jones, New York, Hester, and more. Plus 50% off casual wear from Britches, Jones, New York, and H-Tech. And shorts and polos starting from $19.99.
The really big sale at Tip Top Tailors. Stop in today or shop online at tiptoptailors.ca.
Blue Jays